Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the shop. I've been asked for a shop update video, so this will be a quick once over of what's been going on here lately. So let's take a look around and see. Shop boss Bailey's down here approving of what's been going on. So he's got his beds out there. I don't know if he's happy about that. But you may notice that the entranceway to the shop has changed from what it's been for the last couple months. And there's been some major changes over there in the corner where you come into the building. So got more jobs there. We've got this my inspection area somewhat set up over here. So I moved the granite plate over here to its forever home and got my cast iron surface plate set up over here where I can use it. Did a little cleaning on it to make it usable, at least in this area. I need to do down there, so I'll try and do a video about how I clean this up to get from that to this. So I've been working on a little job here upcoming, just doing some initial inspection. Anyway, air compressor got moved over there. That's not its forever home, but there's power there, and I use more air outside the building than I do inside the building, so that's a good place to put it for now to get it out of the way. So I got my gauges and got my straight edges over here set up. Got the plate cleaned off. Pretty good shape there where I can use it now instead of having it covered up with a big blanket. Other than that, no real changes on this side of the building besides, well, I guess the Vidmar cabinet stuff's been changed around. No, this wiring's permanent. It's just a temporary deal to run the phase converter until I can get it up in the loft. But I did get these Vidmars over here and have started filling them up with stuff. So I've got a bunch of my quick change holders in here. High-speed steel bits, tooling, reamers, my studs hold down drawer. There'll be light over here too once I get the ceiling put in, but the ceiling's just laying up there. I gotta get all that installed. So I got some place to put the phase converter and that transformer. They'll be going up there out of the way. And I'll have a service panel over here behind the Cincinnati. More than likely, or I might come down here and put it over top of this bench. That would be midways of the building. It'd be assuming that I go on and add to it someday like I'd like to. I'd like to go another 30 feet out the end, 2 more sections. So the shop will be 90 feet long instead of 60 because it is getting somewhat crowded in here. More work. So I've got all that tooling that Keith Rucker brought up here to me that I'd bought out of Georgia. So I've been working on going through it, getting it cleaned up and getting it put away. I've used some more of the insulation over there because I did insulate the lower front sections of the walls where the compressor is. You can see the plywood in behind it. So I went ahead and did those parts because I was blocking them off, and over there behind the heat treat oven, and got it over in its forever home. Of course, the big Monarch sitting where it's gonna sit. Got a future boring bar there to make for the HBM. And so that's where the ceiling will go on that side whenever I get around to it. So, like get that put in for too long. I get caught up on a bunch of these jobs, moved the stack of plywood over here to get more space coming in the door, so I got a larger work area there. I've been doing some grinding, fabricating work. That's all the plywood left over from cutting up. I built the corners in there that I insulated and sealed up. They were all done with cut off bits from the rest of the plywood that I've got stacked around here from doing the walls. I'm not sure if I did get those last couple sheets up there on those walls to get the insulation sealed in, so there's no more exposed insulation to fall out really. Those pieces over there are trapped behind the plywood. Got my welding cutting area put together. So added some more plugs over here. Got the MIG hooked up. The MIG miller's hooked up. The TIG / stick welder. I need to do something about these cables. I would really like to have retracting setups that I can mount on the wall to pull these big long cables out. I hate wrapping those things up and unwrapping them. It seems like they're always getting tangled up. So you can come up with something better for that, but for now they're just probably gonna get stored over here. I need to get wiring run and air run for the plasma. So, because it's where it's gonna sit and stay at the press over here where it's gonna live. Put it here so I can run stuff all the way through it if I want to. I know this space in behind here is going to stay open enough that I'll be able to use that to poke shafts and things through there if I need to. Longer stuff. And the little welder, if I need to move it out of the way, is a piece of cake to just unplug it and roll it out, because it is on wheels and it's light and it's easy to move. So I can get more space there in front of the press if I need it, but there's enough room there I can stand beside it. And I don't want to stand that close anyway. Probably right about here will be where I normally stand, because that's the control to make it press and release over there, set the pressure on top. So got it over here. I need to get it wired up. I'm gonna put a separate 240 panel over here on this side and try and get some of these smaller machines all hooked together. Want to bring the Johnson over here, and it'll probably sit right in here to where I can roll it out, or I can put shafts and things through. I can even go open the door and go clear outside if I need to, if I got something real long. So, and I'll move the drill over in here to where the column will clear the shaft, so I can still put steel into the Monarch. Long shafting can stick out this end, and I won't have to worry about it hitting the drill column. I can just go past it over here on the side, and that keeps it out far enough away from the column that I can spin this around and drill over in the floor, because when the back end of this motor and everything swings, it goes over in this area. So you can't shove it over that way too far, or it'll hit the loft or one of these columns for the bridge. So that's the plan on that. I got started setting up some lathe tooling over here, getting it organized. So I got a bunch of jaws for the chuck, assortments in there, brazed carbide. So I started getting this filled up. Probably put all my different inserts there in that top drawer. I'll be able to find them. Got just some old regular tool post stuff there. This is mainly the tooling I've been using on here. So just stuff I've pulled out of that assortment of stuff that I bought. Getting that all cleaned up and out of the floor. So that's a slow project, but I work on it every now and then when I get a chance to just go through and put some of it up. I've been doing a lot of jobs that haven't been getting filmed on the Monarch here just because I haven't had time for it. So you can see all the steel that's already accumulated in this. I'm going to have to get some big totes in here to start pulling these chips out, getting rid of that stuff. Clean this up. I still want to get this all welded up on here and smoothed out, make it pretty and nice again, like it should be. There's that cutter Pierre and Phil gave me. So I want to get that hooked up and do some heavy turning sometime just to see how it performs. It'll be fun. But the main deal's just been reworking this whole front end of the shop, moving everything around so the drill will move and come back here, and I'll have a nice area that I can fabricate or pull stuff in to work on it up there as you come into the shop in front of the welders. And my metrology area is far enough away that I don't think I'll have any problems with welder stuff doing any damage to it. It pretty well gets it safe. And still got space in here for another machine should I happen to find something to go in that spot to sit in between the Cincinnati. Probably anything that would go in there would wind up having to reorganize that metrology area. But if I can get the compressor moved, then all that can move down and that would give me more space. So something to think about. I get this grinder over against the wall so I can use it. It's another one I can get wired up and keep it permanent. Just gonna put it there in the corner behind the press because it'll sit far enough back in there that I can still stick stuff through and won't have to worry about interference. And I'll put the other Thompson grinder over in here because I'm not gonna put any real heavy stuff on the mag plate on it to where I need to keep it out underneath the bridge crane. But I gotta get it moved in here before I move the Carlton and stuff because it's gonna more or less block its spot. But at the same time, I need to get the forklift fixed so I can use it to move the Thompson. So all that stuff's gonna take a while to get to. Lots of things to do and not a lot of money to do them with. So just gotta keep doing jobs like those to earn the money to pay for the rest of it. So that way I can keep moving on. And I got my balancing stand sitting over there safe. So, but getting this cleaned out to where I can move stuff in and out easier is nice. I got one cabinet left to go through and repaint and clean up. And I'll probably put it down there in that far corner and it'll service the lathe. So I'm planning on putting the other Monarch down there where that air conditioner's sitting. It'll sit back in there. I left enough room for all that to work out when I get to that point. But that's gonna be ways off again. That'll be probably one of the last things that'll get moved. That way I can keep using it where it is. Plus I need to get all the ceiling stuff, roof straightened out down there on that end, get all those holes plugged and the tin all screwed down. So get all that in good shape before I worry about moving anything in over there. Other side's still looking pretty good. It's survived this winter so far without getting blown off, but we're getting closer to the springtime when those kind of things happen. So we'll have to see how it holds up to the weather when it starts to get crazy. So far we're still in winter, so it's not been too crazy, although we've had several windy days. Haven't we, Bailey? He's indifferent about it. Thinks I need to get back to work instead of making videos. Isn't that right, Bailey? Bailey. But for now, I need to get my trailer backed in here and get some materials unloaded and do some cutting. So hope you enjoyed that little shop update, tour of what's changed and moved around here. So there was a lot of stuff, pretty much everything in this front end of the shop's all been moved to make more space and better walkways and a better working area, and I can get to and use more things without having to move other stuff to do it. So that's a big improvement. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll catch y'all later. They approve this message.